Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh!
This game snuck up on me this year. I had seen some videos, but until I got my hands on it, I didn't want to judge it. The first thing comes to mind is this is resembling the art style of the Alien movies. This biomechanical visual design mixed with this hyper-sexualization of animation where everything is kind of going in and out of something. Not only this, but the audio design is creepy, eerie, quiet, and silent. Scorn is a game that doesn't hold your hand. You literally just spawn in, and almost as if it's like this post-apocalyptic world, you tear yourself off this biomechanical, I don't know what it is, but you're tearing yourself off the ground, and then you're just navigating these hallways trying to survive. And as you're navigating these hallways, you have these other creatures that are almost tearing themselves off the walls to fight you. Similar to how white blood cells defend the human body, it seems like they're protecting this entity that you're walking through, like as if the walls are alive. And it's a very particular and eerie feeling to feel like you are that virus almost walking through every single hallway as if you were the thing that was going to cause it harm. To be honest, this whole entire game feels like it's a Magic School Bus episode on LSD. I remember thinking when I was a kid, what would happen if we did shrink ourselves down? Would we be attacked? And this is exactly what I would imagine it would be like. Just exactly like how this is, just getting constantly attacked by these entities inside of these veins or whatever it may be. Scorn's gameplay is pretty simple. It is not complicated. It doesn't have this big depth into it. It has two segments. You have the puzzle segment where you get different types of puzzles. You have to figure them out. And then after that puzzle will unlock another section where you will traverse and move through an area. They have the fighting sections where you use a weapon, and that weapon will be used against different monsters or whatever it may be. And each monster has a specific weapon that's better for each different type of encounter. The only thing I don't like are these little spitters. They're like this little bird looking things. I feel that they're kind of cheap into some degree, that they have this ability to hit you no matter what. And it feels unless you have a ranged weapon, you will trade damage with this thing to kill it with the piston, which is frustrating at times because it feels as if these monsters are designed to trade with rather than to be outplayed. A lot of the times actually in this game, I feel like we have to kite a monster around a wall or a pillar to be able to kill it. And it feels a little cheap. If I could have any sort of gameplay change into the whole core mechanic of the game, I'd want to have just a better, well thought out fighting system rather than having this, poor lackluster fight with these monsters where you're just kiting them and trying to jab a little bit, run away, jab a little bit, run away. It's lackluster. It's not fun. No one enjoys that. Now, I wanted to just talk about the puzzles for a second because the puzzles are actually really, really good. Being somebody who grew up with the Tomb Raider series, with all the other types of games in that type of genre where you're sitting figuring out a puzzle, this game really pulls through in the sense of giving you a different little jab at a different puzzle every single time and having it be complicated and hard. I really personally enjoy that. I found it fun. So for as much as this game shows off its weapons, I think it's a puzzle game first more than anything. I want to talk about how this game has a few little issues here and there. And it's littered with little tiny problems, not something that's going to break your gameplay experience, but things that are notable to take you out of the actual immersion of the game. For one, I find that this game has some technical issues with its textures. I find that it takes a bit of a while for them to load. I'm playing this game off of an SSD, and it is just sitting there, and everything kind of has this blurry film to it. Almost like as if it's taking a while when you look at something, you start loading in clearer and clearer as you're staring at it. This game has that, and it's a little bit to the point where it's very noticeable. And I know that they add this smoke effect and whatnot to probably mask a lot of it, but it just makes everything feel blurry, almost as if you need glasses. This game has actually made me be dizzy at times while playing, where I just felt my vision was off, and I don't wear glasses. I don't have any sort of eyesight issue. It made me feel like I should get my eyes checked, even though if I could say anything about Scorn, I'll say that this game is a very unique and different game from what we're used to getting from companies. Normally you'll have a campaign, a character, something that you get to attach yourself to and vicariously live through. In this game, you get to play as a character who is just dropped in. It's almost as if you have no background, which you don't, and you get to try and survive. And it's not for everyone. You gotta ask yourself this, right? These are the questions you want to ask yourself. Do I like puzzle games? Do I mind a shooter that's not perfectly polished? Do I mind technical issues with visuals, with textures, and with things looking as if they have a film over it? If you say yes to those questions, then you know where your answer lies. I'm gonna tell you that this game is different though, and at least to try it doesn't really hurt. For myself, if I had to give anything on this, we have to review price points, and we have to review whether or not it's worth it. Scorn is retailing at a price of $43.99. Unfortunately, this price is a little bit steep, and to be honest, I would not recommend paying this full price for this game. It is not something that's going to lavishly surprise you. It is different, but it is not worth that price tag. The only way that I could see myself saying it's worth it is if you could pick it up for a price of anywhere between $15 to $20, and that actually is the amount that the pass would be, which this game is on the Xbox Pass, and you'd be able to pick up for around that price. The only difference is you wouldn't own it. Now, for myself, the way I treat the pass is pretty simple. I respect the pass similar to renting video games. Back in the day, you'd pay $10 to $15 or whatever the price may be in your area to rent the game, play it for a week, and then bring it back. This would be the best for those type of games, because this is the type of game you would pick up, play, and then it would be over and you'd be like, wow, what a ride, right? But you don't want to pay that full price tag. That's where I lay on this game. This game is not worth a full price tag. It is not worth the $43, but it is definitely worth a pass payment or anything under $20. This is yet another episode of Is It Worth It? My name is Daskys, and I hope you enjoyed it. And for the most part, if you want to be a part of the recording process, click my Twitch link below. It was a pleasure. All the best. Never change. Watch out for strangers. Look both ways are crossing the street. And yeah, I love you, you beautiful bastards.